This is ABC15 Mornings.
The rise in cases of the UK variant.
Hospitals are seeing more and more younger adults.
The CDC asking people under 40 not to be careless.
Plan ahead, make sure you don't have something big going on possibly the next day. Make sure you can get some rest.
Are you preparing for that second shot? The ABC15 Health Insiders with advice to limit side effects.
A proven program to improve reading.
We will provide 25 books for 250 students.
New this morning, money to help kids in our community.
Normalcy in a crazy day, and their life may be shifted forever, but at least we're there to support.
Only on ABC15 Mornings, how Phoenix Children's helps patients get a good education.
The positive side of social media.
Really wanted to take social media and flip it on its head in a way.
An Instagram account helping empower women.
He kicks it back out the ball, the shot clock at 3. Here's Paul for a 3. Good! Chris Paul with another huge shot when it matters most.
You might need an extra cup of coffee if you stayed up late for a Suns win in overtime. Nick, I know you're not big on coffee, but I'm guessing if you were up late too, you're on your third cup like me. A lot of people.
I'm hurting.
It was one of those nights, but so worth waiting up to see that win last night. Hey, good morning to you. Hopefully your day is off to a great start. Kaylee O'Kelly here in studio. Our Nick Soletti is social distancing from the newsroom.
Yeah, we're just having so much fun watching the Suns this season. I mean, it's just what a journey it has been so far. Can't wait to see where they go with it. Hey, let's talk about that most accurate forecast on this Thursday. Meteorologist Iris Hermosillo standing by right now with a quick look at what we can expect and a gorgeous sunrise behind you, Iris.
I was going to say, this is why I wanted to show you this view from our Mayo Clinic Valley cam. The camera looks a little hazy out there, admittedly, so it's not the best shot, but we're getting a little color in the sky as the sun works its way towards the horizon. We're 5 minutes away from our sunrise and just enough of that cloud cover to give us some color here this morning. A gorgeous morning if you want to head outside now. Temperatures are comfortable, but we will be heading back into the 90s, and it's going to be a little warmer today than it was yesterday as temperatures keep trending up. Winds are picking up today, too, and that's going to increase the fire danger across our state, but especially in southeast Arizona. So we're going to talk about that, but right now 50s and 60s in most spots. Avondale a little milder, holding on to that 70 degrees. There's that hour by hour breakdown as you plan your day. Before 11, it's 60s and 70s, then 80s after that, and then into the 90s this afternoon with a high of 93. I'll show you how much higher that temperature will climb over the next few days.
All right, a good reminder to drink lots of water this morning. Iris, thank you. Well, today President Joe Biden is expected to unveil a series of executive actions dealing with gun reform, and it comes after efforts have stalled out in Congress. Our John Genovese is on this one for us. And John, this is the president's first major move on gun control, but there could be a roadblock right here in Arizona. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Kaylee. And exactly, that's because of a new law just signed by Governor Doug Ducey that would block any new federal gun safety regulations that he believes would violate the Second Amendment. Now, today, President Biden is expected to announce 6 executive orders on guns, including cracking down on so-called ghost guns, those being firearms assembled with a 3D printer from parts purchased online, investments in community violence intervention programs, and he'll encourage states to adopt red flag laws, which allow police or family members to petition courts to temporarily remove guns from people in crisis.
I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps that will save the lives in the future.
However, lawmakers here in Arizona taking action ahead of these orders. Governor Doug Ducey, as I mentioned, signing a bill to block any federal gun safety regulations that he says would violate the Second Amendment.
If we as the state of Arizona do not believe in what the federal government wants to do and to infringe on your Second Amendment rights, regardless whether it's background checks or banning AR-15s, it is up to the state to decide that.
Yeah, the bill sponsor who you just heard there likened it to the state's recreational marijuana law. It is still a crime under federal law, but here in Arizona, recreational marijuana is not.
VC there, thank you for that update. Nearly half the country's new COVID cases are in just 5 states. New York, Michigan, Florida, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. Many new infections are younger people who haven't been vaccinated yet.
Hospitals are seeing more and more younger adults, those in their 30s and 40s, admitted with severe disease.
If you add on the fact that we have loosening restrictions, more people traveling, young people spreading it, and you have a more contagious variant, that is a setup for more outbreaks.
Health officials say the vaccines are effective against the variants. 38 states have now opened vaccine eligibility to anybody over the age of 16. 1 of every 3 Arizonans is now vaccinated, and modeling by ASU researchers shows it's making a difference. COVID hospitalizations and deaths are declining in our state. Experts predict by May 1st, over half of Arizona will be vaccinated.
The director of the CDC is expecting remote learning to become history by September. Dr. Rochelle Walensky said she anticipates all schools will be open by fall, and that's regardless of whether kids are vaccinated. She says teachers are being vaccinated and other measures can be taken to ensure a safer learning environment. And since we're talking about learning, let's talk about this. Phoenix City Council approving a phased reopening plan for public libraries. Starting April 19th, 8 libraries will be open for those who have scheduled 45-minute appointments. Visitors can check out materials using self-serve kiosks, and you can make a reservation online or by calling that number right there on your screen. By May 17th, all libraries will be back open at least 25% capacity.
All new this morning, a mega tech company is teaming up with community partners to help kids in Phoenix learn to read. Mark Thompson joining us now with more on this special partnership where kids come out on top. Okay, Mark, it sounds like a win-win for everyone.
It sure is, Nick. Good morning to you. And when tech company Microsoft put up $15,000 in grant money, community organization Jack and Jill, they jumped at the chance to allow kids the opportunity to read, providing them with a gift that will last a lifetime. Look. The check, enormous, $15,000. The money going to students at Rancho Santa Fe School in the Litchfield Elementary School District. Jack and Jill, Phoenix chapter president Joanne Curry, excited to provide first and second graders a tremendous head start on their journey to read.
We will provide 25 books for 250 students within that school, and that will give them that opportunity to continue to use their imagination, to read, and to continue to grow in their literacy path.
The Microsoft grant helping students in underserved communities, books, a critical resource to continue lifelong learning even outside the walls of the classroom.
Every child should have a particular library that in their home, so they can go to their room or go to their home, or actually have an older brother and sister read to them to help to continue with the literacy program.
To purchase and distribute the books, Jack and Jill turned to Katabu, a literacy organization that's been doing it for years and affiliated with the My Kids Read program.
And so we're pleased they selected our model, and we're ready to get to work.
Roy Dawson is executive director of the Arizona Center for African American Resources and helped form Katabu back in 2016. It's a Swahili word that means a collection of information for learning, and a perfect fit for shining the light of education on communities that need it the most.
Absolutely, because the research says that for every 25 books in the home, kids can improve their reading skills and learning competencies by 1 grade level.
Yes, the benefits of reading, it allows you to take your education to a higher level. It allows you to open more doors for you through higher education. It allows you to use your imagination. Always want to be a student of life. And with literacy, that always enables you to always continue to be a student of life. And that's what we want for all of our children.
Yeah, and Dawson, he points out a very important statistic here. He says that less than 30% of African Americans, they are reading at grade level by 3rd grade, and they really want to do all they can to turn around those type of statistics. The goal of Katabu is to eventually provide 100 books into the hands of school-age children. So this new partnership with Microsoft, this community and corporate partnership, is bringing them one step closer to achieving that goal. Reporting live this morning, Mark Thompson, ABC15 Arizona. Guys, back to you.
Mark, thank you. Next on ABC15 Mornings, having all those Zoom meetings turn you into a zombie? Why video conferences could lead to problems on the road.
It gives them that opportunity to forget about that patient room that they're in.
How about some hope this morning? Being in the hospital, it is tough for anyone, but especially so for kids. How this special classroom is helping to bring some normalcy to the Valley's bravest kids.
12 past the hour, the pandemic forced a lot of us to rely on technology for work and school, and it looks like that's taking a toll on our driving. A new study from Root Insurance finds 54% of drivers admitted to having trouble concentrating after video meetings or conferences. Auto safety experts say the strain of relying on technology combined with diminished driving skills due to the pandemic contributed to a surge in roadway deaths for last year. Investigators in LA County now say excessive speed is what caused golfer Tiger Woods to crash his SUV in February. Officials believe he was driving more than 80 miles an hour when he went off the road and hit a tree. They say they found no signs of impairment and no charges will be filed. Woods releasing a statement saying he's grateful to everybody who helped him at the scene and will continue to focus on his recovery.
Well, some relief at the gas pump. How about that? Fuel prices could be headed for a little bit of a dip. New federal numbers are showing stockpiles of gasoline were unexpectedly higher as refineries ramp up production ahead of the summer driving season. It's helped to push oil prices down by more than 0.5%. Every little bit counts right now, right? Okay. Speaking of gas prices, let's show you these desert drive times.
Sponsored by Accident Law Group.
From Accident Law Group. Okay, this here, it is a live look at the I-10 westbound at 43rd Avenue. Starting to see a little bit of slowing, but really there are no major crashes to warn you about. Just, again, regular slowing here and there across the valley.
Well, let's talk now about that most accurate forecast. I wanted to bring you an update. That brush fire that started yesterday near Palo Verde, temperatures overnight, hopefully helping those fire crews, which had a handle on the fire yesterday, maintain a handle on it. Overnight down to about 70 degrees here at this hour, so temperatures cooling. Winds also lighter. Relative humidity went up overnight too. But the problem is we saw fire start yesterday and winds weren't even as strong as they're going to be today. So it's a reminder that we are in the thick of these fire conditions, and fires can get started very easily, and now that we're throwing in the winds too, they can spread very quickly too. And so because of that, we've got some new fire alerts for the day today. Those are for southeast Arizona. All those areas that you see highlighted in the pink, those are red flag warnings or fire weather warnings, and they do include portions of eastern Pinal County. Now, be mindful of the fact that even though the rest of the state is not under any type of fire alert, with breezes picking up, fires can still spread. And again, conditions remain really dry too across the state. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit, but I wanted to show you the winds first. So far, they've been pretty light this morning, a few breezes in some spots, very isolated. But as you look at futurecasts, you're noticing that the winds by this afternoon, here's 4 p.m., they really increase across the state, but especially in southeast Arizona. It'll be breezy here in the valley, breezy to our north, and in southeast Arizona, windy conditions this afternoon and evening, and that's where that fire risk is, highest rather, and that's where that fire alert is as well. As relative humidity in that area too will drop below 15%. Then winds lighten up overnight tomorrow, just some lingering breezes before they pick back up again on Saturday. And then we're going to get some more periods of breezes next week as well. So as you look at the valley forecast, winds will be shifting to out of the west this afternoon, gusts as high as 20 to 25 miles an hour. And for southeast Arizona, as I just said, gusts as high as 40 miles an hour possible. Now we talk about the dry conditions. Our drought monitor just updated this morning. No changes from last week, but that means that 99% of Arizona remains under some level of drought, with the worst conditions at exceptional drought in the dark red at 55% of our state. We need the rain. We certainly do. Unfortunately, we don't have any in the forecast. High pressure dominates. That's what's bringing the warm weather our way and keeping these temperatures in the 90s for the next several days and even into next week too. We'll track a disturbance to our north. That'll pick up the breezes today into tomorrow. Tomorrow, although they'll be lighter, but today into tomorrow, that disturbance passes by. And then by Sunday, we get a few clouds moving through, but no rain. Now, what we're watching into next week is this storm system that'll bring potentially a little bit more cloud cover, maybe drop those temperatures as it moves a little bit further south by the middle of next week. At this point, too early to be sure whether we're going to see any rain or snow chances with it. Right now, not looking promising, but we'll likely see temperatures drop a little bit by the middle of next week. In the meantime, highs in the low to mid 90s through the weekend, mornings in the 60s, and then by the middle of next week, that high at least down a few degrees to near 90 on Wednesday.
All right, Iris, thank you. Mini golf, go-karts, and a whole lot more coming to Gilbert as the new Santan Adventure Park gets the green light. Town officials signing off on the project design. This was last night. It's being built near Warner at Santan Village Parkway. 4.5 acres of so much fun will open in phases, and we're told the first part should be completed later this year.
Learning and going to school, and these are staples, of course, of life as a kid. For Phoenix Children's, helping parents continue their education is always top of mind. This morning, ABC 15's Steve Irvin takes us to their one darn cool school.
Blood draws, chemotherapy, surgery. Being sick and hospitalized as a child is scary for both the patient and the parents.
If your child comes in with an acute illness or a trauma, the last thing you want to worry about is what's happening with school and school attendance.
To help families focus on healing, Phoenix Children's takes away stress through their program, One Darn Cool School.
I am just so happy to give the service that they need. It's a little teeny tiny piece of normalcy in a crazy day, and their life may be shifted forever, but at least we're there to support.
For Ann Sandoval, one of 7 teachers on staff, giving back is personal.
I actually had a child that was served here back when he was 5 years old. He had a heart condition. And as an educator in the public school system, I just was always drawn to Phoenix Children's because of my experience here and how he was treated.
Treatment takes a whole team. Dr. Laura Wilner, head of Phoenix Children's Rehabilitation Division, says that teachers and the therapists work hand in hand.
Sometimes it's our school teachers that discover there might be a visual component to their difficulties with their learning. Sometimes our occupational therapists notice something about fine motor skills that affects writing, and therefore the teacher's able to provide some accommodations for that to be successful in the educational aspect of things.
Whether it's a young child or teen working toward their diploma, stress is not part of the academic curriculum at Phoenix Children's.
So many teenagers come to the hospital ill or injured, and they're worried about their credits and are they going to graduate on time. And so our school teachers do a phenomenal job of reassuring and working with the school district to figure out how we're going to make up that work and how we're going to be able to do it successfully so that they can meet their goals of graduating on time.
Sometimes parents are so struck by what? There's a school here, and what can you do for me? And we serve a purpose of taking that piece of their worry off the plate.
Teachers adapt to each patient, meeting bedside, virtually, and pre-pandemic in their classroom.
And I think it's important to recognize that the classroom is the safe space.
It gives them that opportunity to forget about that patient room that they're in with alarms going off and what they're connected to. It brings them back to, oh, I'm still a kid. I may be in a hospital, but I still get to learn.
Now, One Darn Cool School not only provides education, but also supplies, books, online learning materials, and other things. All of it, the school supplies, all of it, fully funded through donations. And you can take action, help out. Next Wednesday is the ABC15 Telethon benefiting Phoenix Children's. Phones will be open from 6 in the morning until 10:35 at night. We need your help to do this, folks.
And we are so lucky to have Phoenix Children's right here in the Valley. Boycotting the Olympics. Countries and companies outside China face rising pressure not to take part. We're going to take you live to D.C. on what the United States might do.
Plus chills, fever, fatigue, and this morning's Health Insider report what you can do to minimize the side effects of the COVID vaccine.
.24, and what a great week of premieres here on ABC 15 tonight. You cannot miss this new show. It's called Rebel, inspired by the life of Erin Brockovich, starring Katie Sagal as a consumer advocate and a fighter for social justice.
That is the truth of the characters that she's trying to juggle. As I myself am a working mom with kids and my current husband and an ex-husband, and it's a juggle that we all strive to do correctly. And, the reality is a lot of stuff gets, falls through the cracks. And so you see a flawed, interesting person. And I don't mean flawed like a bad thing. I mean flawed like a human thing, like we all are. So that's Aaron's thing, that's Rebel's thing. It's like, why don't we just tell the truth about who we are?
Right? I mean, you just know this is going to be such a good show. By the way, she also tells us that as a woman in her 60s, gosh, she's so hot. She's honored to be the leader of the ship. She also says she's honored to work with other strong women. You can catch Rebel tonight at 9 here on ABC 15.
Chandler Center for the Arts announcing the return of live performances for its upcoming season. It includes shows from last year that were put on hold by the pandemic, like Amy Grant, a Whitney Houston tribute show, and the Golden Girls show, a puppet parody. I love that. Tickets for the spring lineup go on sale Monday at 10 a.m. I hope they have a lot of St. Olaf stories to tell.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Oh my gosh, I'll take you back. Hey, a candy store in Mesa wants to spice things up, inviting you to take on some sour and spicy challenges.
Pops Exotic is looking for people to do a new food challenge that will be filmed for the store's TikTok account. In exchange, you could get your order for free.
Okay, well, some past challenges do include the one chip challenge, where someone was able to eat the world's hottest chip.
Ouch. I need water just thinking about it.
Yeah, that'll leave a mark.
Hey, next at 6:30, the president is preparing to take executive action on guns. So will it curb violence, and how will it be received? We have a live report coming up.
Plus, our Phoenix Suns trying to stop a playoff drought that's lasted longer than a decade. Well, after last night's nail biter, fans can really be excited for the months ahead.